Now, lots of ways to prepare for an interview. And we'll go through this list and we'll spend more time on the things that I think are critical. The first thing here is please, please, please make sure that your email address is professional and that your voicemail message is professional. I don't want to see any stupid email addresses like jazzymama.com or airfighter or whatever, gamer.com. Use a professional email address, and ideally it should have your name in it. Now let's talk a little bit about your phone message. Please, on your voicemail, make sure that your name is stated so that when someone calls you to set up an interview, they know immediately they have gotten you. And if you just have the standard generic message or just have your phone number, when I call you to set up an interview, I don't even know that I've gotten you. So please give your name. Please set up a voicemail. Please clean out your messages. There is nothing worse than for a hiring manager to try and set up an interview and get a message, "This voicemail box has not been set up," or "This voicemail box is full. Goodbye." That kind of stuff does not say anything positive about your desire to get this job. So pay attention to that stuff. And if you share a phone with your family and on your resume you've used your home phone number, please don't have your children on the voicemail. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. And your voicemail and your email are your first impression. Also, when we prepare for interviews, you need an elevator speech, which we'll talk about. We also need to review the announcement and questionnaire so we can anticipate the questions and practice our answers. I want you to research the organization. Now, you're probably sitting there thinking, well, I already work in the organization. Why do I need to research it? You need to research it because you're looking for a different position. And that position may have a slightly different perspective than the position you have. And it shows you care enough to pay attention to what's going on in the broader agency. So we'll talk about that. You'll also need to prepare questions for your interviewers. I encourage people to take a test trip to the location. Every federal agency that I go to conduct training has a different way to sign in. Even when I go to different locations for the same agency, the rules are different. So getting a feel for how you can actually get in the building is very helpful. Figure out where the parking is, all of that kind of stuff. I am big on learning the interviewers' names before your interviewer. So how can you do that? When somebody calls to set up an interviewer, ask them who's on the interview panel and ask how to spell those names. I would then go look up those folks on LinkedIn so you can see what they look like and learn a little bit about them, which will give you hopefully some hints on how to have casual conversation as you're, walking to the interview room or before things get started. That can really help. And you'll want to know how to spell the interviewers' names so you know where to send your thank you notes. Sometimes you'll be asked to bring information with you. Of course, part of preparing for an interview is preparing that. I always recommend that you have a reference page and copies of your resume to bring with. And preparing for an interview also requires figuring out what you're going to wear. And we have gotten very casual in the government in terms of what we wear to work every day. But if you are interviewing for a job, you need to step it up a notch. Even if you're interviewing in your organization, it shows respect for the process, and it shows that you care enough to go up a level from your typical clothes that you wear to work every day.